Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon from my side as well. Let me thank first the Piraeus Bank for taking this initiative for this specific roadshow, which is very important. And we saw right now how important it is to identify the idiosyncrasies of our market, because Mr. Nannidou mentioned about securities lending, which is very important, and Mr. Porphyris, you know it very well as a stock exchange. So these are issues that we need to identify and see how we are going to deal with them in the process. And let me also thank Mr. Sabatini for being here and for taking this initiative as well to come to Greece and also discuss about this important issue. And this is an opportunity for me to also thank you in general as a European for being the head and the leader of this effort, because it's a very important effort, and without you, I don't know how successful that it would be. So, as we conclude today's discussion, I think that there is one message which is clear. Mr. Sabatini said this in the beginning. The transition from T+2 to T+1 is not simply a technical adjustment, as Mrs. Vassila also mentioned earlier. So, it's also a prerequisite for deeper and more liquid capital markets, which are the key objectives of the Savings and Investment Union, the SIU. And also for one more reason. This already exists in other continents, in other jurisdictions, so we need also to speed up to make sure that we also operate like the other markets, so that we are also competitive as the others are. So this is also very important for competitive issues. And as we all know, the implementation of T+1 settlement in the European Union on 11th of October will significantly shorten the post-trade cycle, reducing by one full day the time available for clearing, matching, allocation, affirmation, funding, securities lending, and settlement preparation. This shortened now timeline introduces both pressure and potential. Pressure, of course, because existing processes will become unsustainable and because we all need to speed up in what we are doing. But also potential because the transition to T+1 can act as a catalyst for much needed modernization across EU capital markets. And I'm emphasizing on this because modernization will happen, and it is very important to be pioneers in this modernization and to prepare from now. So the European securities market, as we all know, is highly interconnected. And the transition to T+1 requires comprehensive technical, infrastructural, and behavioral changes across the entire value chain. Every participant in the settlement chain must adapt in a coordinated and disciplined way. And we are very happy to observe, Nikos, Mr. Porphyris, that Athens Euronext is well positioned for T+1 because it is already addressing the critical infrastructure pillars and therefore is laying the foundation for a smooth and credible transition. Of course, infrastructure readiness alone is not enough, so the success of T+1 will require the same level of preparedness from all market participants. The EU Industry Committee recommendations and the focus on operational readiness, liquidity optimization, and data precision are exactly what institutions need to navigate and in order to navigate the compressed settlement window. These recommendations are strategic enablers designed to support a market-wide transformation. So thank you, Mr. Sabatini, for this. To ensure a smooth and successful transition, firms must automate, streamline processes, and make use of all available settlement efficiency tools. A smooth transition to T+1 will depend fundamentally on three interconnected pillars: harmonization, standardization, and automation. In shortened settlement cycle, there is no longer sufficient time to absorb the inefficiencies created by fragmented market practices, divergent cut-off times, or inconsistent messaging formats across jurisdictions. All these need to be remedied. So harmonization of rules and timelines across European markets is there essential to ensure that all participants operate within the same compressed settlement framework. Standardization, in turn, provides the common operational language that enables seamless interaction between all the participants. And automation is the practical engine that makes T+1 achievable and must become the norm. Only through fully automated, machine-readable, and real-time post-trade workflows can the market eliminate manual bottlenecks, reduce operational risk, and meet the accelerated timelines required under T+1. Each institution must validate and assign the settlement instruction to the respective accounts and then potentially route it to the next part in the chain, which can be time-consuming in case of manual intervention. So this is why automation is of importance. Together, these three elements are not simply enhancements, they are indispensable conditions for a resilient, efficient, and successful migration to a T+1 environment. We must not forget that the successful transition to T+1 requires immediate and proactive preparation from every participant in the post-trade chain. Now, we understand that if not all, most of the market operators have already conducted a comprehensive gap analysis of the existing operational, technological, and procedural framework. It is very important to have already concluded this gap analysis. This means that identifying where current processes, legacy systems, manual interventions, or fragmented workflows may prevent timely compliance with the new short and settlement requirements should be identified, okay? So particular attention should be given to cut-off times, trade affirmation timelines, settlement instruction processes, liquidity and inventory management, and the ability to support straight-through automated processing. I guess that all these are things that you are now checking. Early identification of gaps will allow institutions, will allow you to prioritize system upgrades if required, redesign workflows, coordinate with counterparties that you now cooperate already, and ensure full operational readiness well in advance of the October 2027 implementation date. In the T+1 environment, preparedness is not optional, as we all understand now. It is essential to safeguard settlement efficiency, reduce any kind of operational risk, and maintain market stability. So steps to achieve a good level of preparedness will differ, as we can all understand, across the firms. Each firm will have its own set of considerations that should be assessed per market, per product type, and per trade flow. Ultimately, it is for a firm to assess what it needs to be ready. And we urge you and we encourage you to do this timely so that you can be aware of the issues that are relevant to your institution. And this brings us to a critical point. Settlement is not an isolated event, as we said. Successful migration to T+1 is a shared effort that depends on coordinated action for the entire financial ecosystem. No single institution can achieve preparation, let's say, readiness in isolation. Market participants must work in close alignment to ensure that changes in one part of the chain are matched by corresponding readiness in all others. Early engagement, transparent communication, and synchronized implementation planning are essential to identify interdependencies and resolve bottlenecks. Equally important is the collaboration between market participants and public authorities like us, because our oversight and guidance will help, of course, restore consistency. So if you identify something now, you can come and tell us that, look, we have this and this issue. It is very important that we have an open dialogue and that you all tell us what are the issues that you see and that you identify. So let us not forget that T+1 is not merely about settling faster. It is about making Europe's capital markets stronger, safer, more resilient, and more competitive globally. So we are here to assist in these efforts. The 11th of October is a date which is fixed, but is not far. This means that 2026, this year, must be a year of implementation readiness. Firms are encouraged to take a holistic approach to this journey. And we all know that ESMA is doing a very big effort, and we have also in place the proposed amendments to Commission delegated regulation to set new requirements, which are particularly relevant. So we can all work with each other in order to succeed in all these efforts. I would like to highlight also that market participants should not wait. Now is the time to act. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this event, let me take a moment to express my sincere thanks to all of those who made today possible. First, once again, to Piraeus Bank and to its chair, Georgia Handinicolau, for their generous hosting and support. Many thanks to Caroline Sovet-Frot for her keynote address and continued engagement from ESMA. And a very, very warm thanks to President Vasiliki Lazarokou for her concluding remarks and kind words. And I would like to thank all the members of the UT+1 Industry Committee who contributed to today's discussion, Paola De Antoni, Emma Johnson, Marcello Topa, and Jacopo Borgognone for moderating. A very special thanks to our colleagues from the Greek market. I really appreciated the panel, very informative, very useful. So thank you to Tassos Tsoukenalis, Maria Roussea, Marina Vasileidi, Nikos Porphyris, and Anna Vasili for moderating. And finally, I would like to thank all the participants because your engagement is essential. The transition to T+1 is a collective effort, and today's discussion is an important step in ensuring that this transition is well understood, well coordinated, and ultimately successful. And now I would like to leave you with this last message. Can you? Yes, thank you very much. Yes.